Hello, my name's Chris, or you can call me Mr. Cack, and I'm the Anamanga Nerd. That's right, I love anime, I love manga, and we're going to talk about a lot of that. Before we get too deep into that, there's something we need to discuss, and that is you. You, the listener, join me in my nerddom. That's right, I'm recruiting all sorts of nerds. Whether you're a nerd, a geek, just a general weeb, whatever it is you may be, I need you to join me. I want you to join me. I must have you to join me. So please join my nerddom. And how do you do that? Well, there's two ways. One way is subscribing to this YouTube channel. Another way is, and I'm getting deep into it, is joining me on Twitter at the Anamanga Nerd. Here. Bye-bye. So please join me. I follow back everyone that follows me or talks anime or manga just because I want to be heavily invested into this community. Speaking of anime Twitter, that is where today's episode takes us. So I recently, within the last 48 hours, joined anime Twitter. #AnitTwit. And now as part of this community, this vibrant community of crazy people, I have come to learn one thing. And that's not only are people very, very opinionated, but people are opinionated in ways that I wasn't expecting. And by that I mean this. Demon Slayer, when the first season came out, and just reading... So I read the manga of Demon Slayer, and I felt like, okay, that's a generally good story. I think people are it seems like people really like that. It was top sellers. The volumes were just printing money. The anime came out the first season, and I was like, well, this is beautiful. It's true to form to the manga source material, and the animation is just absolutely beautiful. And it seemed like from my world outside of anime Twitter, it seemed like everyone generally loved themselves some Demon Slayer. So I just assumed in my silly mind that we all just loved Demon Slayer, that it looked beautiful, that people enjoyed the story, that it was an interesting concept. So there was like this, okay, that's not too groundbreaking, but I mean, it's beautiful, stunning animation, like surely people like it still. But then my time on anime Twitter, within the first 24 hours, I saw something repeated multiple times. And that was a claim that if it wasn't for the animation, so if it wasn't just because of the beautiful animation, that the Demon Slayer anime would be, dare I say, mid. So you see a lot of anime Twitter focusing on things that are both either mid or peak, whether that's characters or the anime themselves, classifying that what you feel like is peak or mid. And it shook me that anime Twitter, at least from my feed, seemed to be at least perpetuating the notion that Demon Slayer was mid, or if nothing else, the fact that the animation was the only thing carrying it. Honestly, I saw two, not even questions, just general statements from Twitter handles that I follow that basically threw out there, literally word for word, Demon Slayer is carried by the animation, which is essentially saying that if it didn't look as good as it did, people wouldn't care because there doesn't seem to be a story, or the dialogue isn't strong, or there just isn't generally something appealing about it, other than the fact that it's pretty moving pictures. And that got me to wanting to deep dive into the rabbit hole. And it seems like there are several people that share that sentiment of, yeah, Demon Slayer is mid. As with all things Twitter, there seems to be kind of three encampments. There is the first encampment, which is generally people that don't like the Demon Slayer story, whether it's the story for the anime strictly speaking, or just in general. They don't like it, and that's fine. The second camp are people that are, I don't want to say haters, people that feel strongly against Demon Slayer because it challenges their peak series. And that's honestly the honest truth from looking at it, is there are some people that are very defensive about what they view as their top tier anime, and the fact that this young upstart in Demon Slayer is encroaching upon how strongly and passionately they feel about their series, they have to use everything in their power to undercut it as openly and as often as possible. There's a third encampment that think Demon Slayer is mid. The sole reason that they're trolls. There's people that like to just want to watch the world burn. The Joker from The Dark Knight. There are just people that want to burn everything, and they don't care. They derive their pleasure from tormenting people that they know will clearly rack up their notifications and their mentions and their retweets and their likes by throwing an incendiary comment out there and just letting Twitter do what Twitter does best, and that's freak out. For me, I don't think Demon Slayer is mid. I don't think Demon Slayer is a bad series. I don't think Demon Slayer is solely carried by the animation. You know, the argument for some is that if it wasn't for the fact that the fight sequences are awesome to watch, or the fact that it looks so visually stunning, that people would talk about Demon Slayer. I don't agree with that, but I don't disagree with the notion of where they're coming from. I do think that the way it's visually styled and how different that feels from a lot of other anime that are currently going on, that it does give it a general sense of appeal outside of its story, right? It looks different, therefore people pay attention to it a little bit more, and that's going to then derive either dissension, disagreement, or just general hate towards this different thing. I don't honestly think Demon Slayer has the most profound story. I think there are definitely anime that I like better than Demon Slayer, but I personally don't have any issue with Demon Slayer. I think it is a good enough work that I enjoy watching it. I enjoyed reading it up until the last chapter. Honestly, I wasn't big into the ending of Demon Slayer, but to be fair, I'm not big into the ending of a lot of series, and that's just because I don't like to watch something that I was enjoying or just something I invested in. I don't like watching it end. And honestly, Demon Slayer gives you comparatively a much better ending than something like Bleach. Sorry, Bleach, which you're getting anime back, so kudos to you. But Demon Slayer, I think it's just one of those things that you either have made up your mind that you're not going to like it, you're just trying to disguise the fact that you don't want to accept or embrace this new anime as being in the upper echelon of where you hold your favorites, or you just like to troll people and you make a living from getting into people's head rent-free. And you just lob an incendiary comment out there and just watch things roll. This has been the On a Manga Nerd. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out where this channel is going to go. But honestly, the last 48 hours being part of anime Twitter, I really do want to explore the comments, the theories, the suggestions, the ideas that some of you run with. I really do want to take a deep dive into that. And moving forward, I will take time to highlight those that make the Twitter posts that kind of get my gears moving for an episode, because I want you to be highlighted, because again, you provided me with an idea that just like didn't settle with me. So kudos to you all. And you know, honestly, so this is a shout out to @blank__, maybe another _0, who asked the question, do some of y'all consider Demon Slayer's story as mid? ? So blank 0 is someone that's asking, or that was as confused as I was, that people seem to be talking negatively about Demon Slayer. @25th Miles. Not gonna lie, the Demon Slayer is carried by animation take ain't even that bad, because all I see are people gassing the fights, nothing else. But this has been commented on 256 times and has been retweeted 930 times with 7.3 thousand likes. So this gained some traction very, very quickly in terms of that's a take. And from this take spawned I could say the same thing about Jujutsu Kaisen, which then led to an argument about Jujutsu Kaisen. One person said, wait, this is actually a really good point. These fights are fire, of course, but there is more to it. As a manga reader, I finished it and I know the story is good, so all I do is gas the fights. That's a fair take. Yeah, I've literally never seen a single person say, holy shit, the story in the latest Demon Slayer episode went crazy, or something like that. So, I mean, this just single comment, 25th Miles didn't even say they felt this way necessarily. They threw out that someone else had been saying, like other people had been saying, that the Demon Slayer anime is carried by the animation, and just said that, you know, that might be a good point. And people lost their minds. So, anime Twitter, I hope you still will have me as I take aim and look at some of the stuff you guys throw out there, because I think it's very interesting fodder for discussion. And I hope that you don't mind me taking what y'all put out there and get, you know, a little bit feisty about and running with it. Because again, I think anime Twitter has been the most enjoyable version of Twitter I have found so far. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope you stick with this channel. I hope you subscribe. I hope you like. I hope you follow Twitter. And then I'll be moving forward doing some more reactions throughout the week. I would like to really start talking about Mashle, Magic, and Muscle, because I think that's a low-key, underrated story that once it gets an animation, people are going to start to fall in love with. But One Piece is also hot fire right now, and that could be an incendiary take, because someone might come at me and say One Piece is mid. That's fine. You do you, but you're wrong. So look forward to it. See y'all. This has been the Anamanga Nerd, Mr. Cack, Chris, and I hope to see you either on Twitter or on the next video. Leave a comment. Let me know what are some incendiary takes you would like me to discuss or explore, or I'm looking for wild fan theories on some of your favorite series, or just let me know that you don't like my choices in anime or manga, and that'll be hurtful, but I'll survive. All right, thank you. See ya!